To change who you are? To define the mundane flow of life? To become a new person? What would that take? You can choose to say the same, sure, but is that really all there is? Is this mediocre you, all that there is? Are you just you, or can you become someone else? What does it mean to do that? What does it mean to go on a journey? Tamaki Mari is average in every sense of the word. She is no different from any other high school girl, just another face in the crowd. She lives her life one day at a time, nothing to drive her and nothing to pursue. But that's boring. Being yourself is boring. Living in this mundane world is soul-crushing. She wants to go on an adventure, but how do you do that? How can you just abandon this life that you've been given to shatter the frame of normalcy for the sake of a new journey? That takes bravery. That takes willpower. Something Himari was unable to do. But Kabuchizawa Shirase was different in this regard. Her heart was full of nothing but a desire to go on a journey, to become a new person and see something she'd never seen before. The person who she was could never see what her mother saw. And with all her might and all of her will, she desired more. That wad of cash was her desire to pursue her goal with her own power no matter what it took, yet she couldn't. To get to Antarctica, to reach the place further than the universe, you can't do it alone. Himari found her will to go on a journey in the light that she saw in Shirase's eyes. That smile that lit up her heart with a fire that burned away the shell of who she was before. No longer merely going through life at a leisurely pace, afraid of the unknown, Himari stood up and took off running. Her youth was in motion, no longer standing still. You can choose to live your life in the same old routine, doing everything you've done before just like the last day. But is that gratifying? Can you call that living if that's all there is to it? If that's all there is to you? If you want to live, is standing still where you're at life? But Shirase had no intention of staying where she was. Her mother was adventurous and bright, illuminated the room in the hearts of all those around her. She was determined and didn't stay still because there's nothing more boring than that. Adventure is dangerous, full of twists and turns, and uncertain, but it's also when you're truly free. Nothing is there to bind you down, nothing to look back at, because all there is to see is what lies before you. There really was no better place for Sora Yori Motoi Basho to take place at than the white landscape of Antarctica. It's a place that we are well aware of that lies on this planet, yet it still remains a mystery. It's the last remaining vestige of exploration on this planet due to how perilous and difficult it is to be there. To go to Antarctica is difficult. It's freezing, your lips will get chapped, your skin is cold as the ice that surrounds you, work is constant, and supplies are low. Life is uncertain, and every day is an adventure. Shirase's mother saw that, so much that she was willing to leave her daughter behind to see it. The book she published was full of the sights that she saw, and Shirase wanted to see them, not just for the sights themselves, but to understand what it was that drew her mother there. Yet she did so alone, and alone she failed again and again. She wasn't as strong as her mother, not nearly as confident, but her mother understood something that Shirase did not. To go on an adventure, you can't be alone. To survive in the white wasteland, you need friends by your side. Himari, who desired to change herself, Miyake Hinata, who wanted to run away from her past that weighed her down, and Shiraishi Yuzuki, who wanted friends and a life different than what she had, were all inspired by one another. Together, they were able to support Shirase's dream. Together, they made up for the confidence she lacked because instead of trying to run alone, her youth was in motion because there were others by her side, and all that remained was her unrelenting will that her mother shared. Together, those four made it to the place further than the universe. Each of them changed. Yuzuki had friends that she became inseparable from and could rely on despite only knowing them for a short amount of time. Hinata was able to fight that past that weighed her down because she was no longer alone in facing it, as Shirase stood there and told those girls to stay away from her friend. And Shirase was able to reach the place where her mother let out her last breaths, finding that she never left her behind and was thinking of her till the very last second because the sights she saw are something that she wanted her to see someday. Are you content with the life that you have? Is what you're doing enough for you? Are you willing to settle for what life has given you? To stand still in the mundane flow of life, trapped as the person you are? Or are you going to move? Are you going to set your youth in motion? You see, Himari didn't change in her journey to Antarctica. As she went to the place further than the universe, she saw things she never could before, experienced things she never did previously, and had a new group of friends who changed her life. But that wasn't the moment she changed. It was the moment when Shirase's bright smile illuminated her heart that Himari was a new person, and her life began to move, because that was the moment she took off running. And when they returned from their journey, they found they weren't satisfied. Because when you go on a journey with that thirst to become someone new, how can you come out being content? When you taste the thrill of adventure, all that remains is to take off running again. Thank you everybody for watching. This is another entry in the 12 days of anime. This video is kind of like a companion video to a Eurocamp video that's coming out later, because they both talk about similar things yet kind of opposite, and I found that really interesting. I would like to thank my son, Nunmaji, for editing this video. He also edited the Eurocamp video. He did a very good job. He's a good boy. Everybody should sub to Nunmaji right now. Give my son some support. He's a very good boy. I would like to now thank my patrons, naming people like Flutterod Butt, The Pretentious One, Chandler Makes Video, Nunmaji, and Chez Mix. If you want more updates on videos that are coming out, you can follow me on Twitter or check out my Discord. If you don't want to be a slave and donate to my Patreon, you could always donate to my coffee instead. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.